On today's show, we have Jay Lin, the Ecosystem Growth and Partnerships Lead for Cronos Labs. Cronos Labs is the labs team leading the development of the Cronos ecosystem with a strong focus on DeFi, NFTs, GameFi, and Metaverse projects. The ecosystem is developed by Crypto.org and powered by the CRO cryptocurrency.
Hi, everyone. My name is Jay. I'm leading Ecosystem Growth and Partnerships at Cronos Labs. The Cronos Labs is the labs team managing and growing Cronos Chain. And for those who is the first time hearing about Cronos Chain is an EVM layer 1 chain supported heavily by Crypto.com. So Crypto.com, the centralized exchange, launched Cronos mainnet sometime in November 2021 last year. Right, so the chain itself has been live for 7 months. So what's so unique about Cronos is that it's an EVM layer 1 chain built on the Cosmos SDK. So it allows the chain to be interoperable within Cosmos and across other EVM chains as well. The chain mainnet being live for 7 months, we have seen about 1 million unique active wallets live on the chain right now, and it's growing about 20% month on month. We have seen close to 200 dApps launching live on the chain, right? Mostly NFTs, DeFi, and right now we are seeing gaming, right, slowly gaining traction on the chain as well. Being supported by Crypto.com and very well integrated into Crypto.com's suite of products allows us to have this user base coming in from the exchange, right, where their first time interaction with DeFi, with NFTs, it's on Cronos, right? So we see ourselves playing at a more niche area where it's a blue ocean of typically non-crypto natives, right? Our user base tend to be extremely retail mass market. They tend to, their first time with crypto, right? They probably saw an advertisement on F1 or on UFC showing Crypto.com, and then they sign up with a Crypto.com account, right? And then their first experience with DeFi and NFT then is on Cronos. So this is a niche that we see Cronos slowly going into, where we are extremely retail friendly, where applications and developers building on a chain are typically tailoring their apps towards this group of mass market retails.
Can you tell us a little bit about the team that's driving the success here behind Cronos?
So the Cronos team, right, we have Ken Timsit, who is heading Cronos Chain, right? Cam comes with a wealth of experience in crypto. He used to be head of sales at Consensus, right? And then Cronos team itself, we have a few verticals, right? We have the partnerships team, we have the marketing team, and we have a team of core developers who are frequently optimizing and improving the chain itself. So it's on the commercial front and technical front. We have a team of developers who are mainly improving the chain technical operations, like trying to find the best way to optimize gas, trying to increase block size. We also have a group of DevOps who work closely with developers building on a chain, helping them to solve any of their technical integration problem, giving them a seamless time to build on the testnet, to build on chain. So mainly the team is focused on growing Cronos from a technical level. And then I come from the partnership side, which is more on the commercial front, speaking with devs who are interested to grow on the chain and to launch natively or move cross-chain to Cronos.
Has Cronos, the team, raised any capital since inception from any notable VCs?
So Cronos, it's supported by Crypto.com, right? So we do not have any publicly announced investor or VC for Cronos, but we work closely with multiple top-tier funds to grow the ecosystem.
So what are you guys doing from the building standpoint, and what are you guys working on for the next 12 to 24 months?
One way that we have recently announced the Cronos accelerator program, where a few of our close friends and our close VC friends and partners will be part of the program, looking into the next group of high quality Cronos applications to invest into. So the Cronos accelerator program is a 10 weeks program where we aim to accelerate the best, top quality builders building high quality projects. Right? A couple of criteria is that the verticals of focus, we are looking at advanced DeFi, right? So typically structured finance products, yield optimizers, right? Innovative DEXs, innovative money market models, right? That's the first vertical. The second vertical, we are looking at gaming, right? We see gaming as one of the key pillars of Cronos, being a key channel to drive in the next big wave of mass market and retail. And the last vertical, it's infrastructure and analytics, right? So if you are a builder building along these three verticals, right, you will fit well into the Cronos program, Cronos Accelerator program. And we believe, right, incubating and accelerating strong builders, strong teams allows us to have this repertoire of very strong projects and giving them resources, giving them connections, giving them funding, right, to build out their projects and get them ready for when the next wave of bull run, the next wave of users come into crypto.
So when we look outside of crypto.com, right, for more users to come directly, where do you see those users coming from and how are you deploying marketing efforts in that area?
Great question. Right, so we have been thinking about that. Right, we want to have different pipelines, different channels of users coming into the chain. We recently have partnered with more and more cross-chain bridges. More and more cross-chain bridges have been enabling asset transfers into Cronos. Right, just 1.5 months ago, we have partnered with one of the biggest cross-chain bridge, Connects Network, to where they are enabling liquidity transfers in and out of Cronos from their 15 networks. Right, any multi-chain also support Cronos. We are speaking with multiple cross-chain bridges. Cronos itself we are also launching our own decentralized bridge. The bridge is called Gravity Bridge. Will enable asset transfers from Ethereum to Cronos, and that bridge is set to launch in end of Q2 this year. Right, so going about creating more routes of asset transfers into Cronos, right, and making Cronos a place where developers have strong support from Cronos Lab itself and are able to freely move assets in and out of the chain easily.
What are the aspects of Cronos that also attracts those developers, right? I mean, there's so many different options out there, right? And beyond just, let's call it money or token rewards for developers, right? Like what other things would lure developers into your ecosystem?
Number one, I would say the user base that Cronos offer, it's extremely niche and it's an edge that gives Cronos, right? Our user base, we have a huge amount of retail user base, mass market user base that tend to be non-crypto natives, right? So Cronos, we are putting ourselves in this blue ocean of onboarding non-crypto natives, right? They come in through crypto.com and onboard to Cronos, right? As compared to fighting in a red ocean with other chains fighting over crypto natives, right? If you are a developer wanting to target the mass market, target retail, Cronos offers that user base for you. That's number one. Number two, right, Cronos is still relatively young. So if you are, especially for games who wants to get first mover advantage, we have the user base for you to capture, or we have the user base for you to get the first mover advantage to expand your user base. Right? I think a lot of devs, they said, oh, I wish I can be one of the first project launching on BSC, launching on Polygon. If only I can turn back time, right? But right now, Cronos, we have the user base for high quality teams to target, right? And the first mover advantage is there. And from an ecosystem and foundation point of view, right, we like to get our hands dirty. We work with developers hand in hand to help them grow their projects, right? It's something that we feel we provide really hands-on advice, right? Hands-on execution, where we tell them what's the most optimal marketing move that they can make, right? How should they strategically target the Cronos user base? What do they like? What works? What has failed? Right? And we give them this very tailored advice where we sit down in a meeting with them to work all of this nitty-gritty stuff out. Right? So I think it's 3 points, right? Number one, our user base. Number two, the first mover advantage. And number three, we provide very tailored advice, hands-on with builders on Cronos chain.
So maybe that'll lead off to the aspect of the token, right? So if they're kind of just using the application, maybe not aware of, whether or not they're on Cronos or not, right? How does the token come into play there?
So Cronos native gas token, it's CRO, which is also the currency that used to call Crypto.com coin, and it has been rebranded into Cronos coin because CRO ultimately, the focus it's on a decentralized chain Cronos, right? So users will be able to acquire CRO. So right now, CRO can be utilized as a native gas token, number one, right? Number two, it can be utilized in various DeFi applications for yield farming, such as in a DEX. It can also be utilized as an asset to be lent or borrowed in a money market, right? In the future, it can also be utilized as an asset in game. In a game itself, CRO can be a currency utilized to do multiple in-game functions, right? So the utility of the tokens, it's as utility grows, right, that drives more value to the token, right? And utility can be tracked by how many developers are building on the chain, how many applications are on the chain utilizing CRO as a token. Right? So I think these two will be the biggest value drivers. Right? Number one, transaction volume, and number two, what's amount utility for the token itself.
Jay, I appreciate you coming on today and providing all that value for listeners. Any way for them to find you? What is that?
You can follow me on Twitter. Right, it's at JAY, letter L, letter J, letter L, JL.